Let's get to have some server build setup. You need to install body parser and nodemon, which is basically used to parse JSON HTTP requests into your project. So you issue the command this way by heading straight to your project directory, npm I body parser nodemon, and you click enter. With that, you're going to have nodemon dependency and the body parser installed into your project in a package.json. You have to change the start scripts, that's where the starting point of your project, and you have to point it down to the index.js, where you have to issue out the nodemon space dot forward slash index.js double hyphen execute babel hyphen node space hyphen e hyphen js. With that, you're going to point the system down to index.js at the starting point of your project. You save your project and you create a new file called index.js, because with that, you've actually pointed to a file, and you create this file right in the project directory. Inside this file, you need to import Express from Express. This is the ES6 syntax, and it's actually going to import all dependencies or all our methods open for you to use in Express. You create a constant called app, you initialize it with the Express, you create another constant called port, and you set it to 4000. You create a couple of functions. The first function here is the get with a forward slash. In parentheses, you have the request and the response. The response, you have to send a message. Node and Express server running on the port itself, which is the port created 4000. You use a tick to signify that, not a double quote. And in the listen, you also point at the path, you open up an empty parenthesis, and you could log that to the console that your server is running on which port. That's fine. So now after this, you save your project. You create a new file called babel.rc over there. In this file, you open up the wiggle, you pass in the presets with the brackets, and you pass in the environment with the stage that was set up initially, stage-0. You save your file. You go to your terminal to issue out a command. And what would that be? You have to open up, or you have to start up the server at the specified path. How are you going to do that? You run npm start. The server starts up, and your server is going to be running on the port which you actually specify, which is on port 4000. After this, you head straight to the browser. In your browser, you'll be able to point localhost to this particular port by running localhost hyphen 4000 colon 4000. Now it's going to actually speed out the gets, which is Node and Express server running on port 4000, which is what you have in your index.js, Node and Express server running on your port. So with that, you're good to go, and you just be you could set it up completely. This is a complete setup of your localhost machine. Now you have your server running. If you get to this level, congratulations. And in the next video, we'll be talking about creation of some files like the route, the model, and the controller. Catch me up in the next video.